Spaun was an up-and-coming golfer in 2018, but then he started to feel run down and low energy all the time, and he was losing weight. His game started to suffer, so he went to the doctor and got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. He was of course disappointed, but was glad to finally have an explanation for how his body felt. He spent several months implementing everything the doctors told him to do, but he felt no better. After 2 more years of frustration, he returned to the doctor and they realized they had misdiagnosed him and he was actually type 1. He had dropped to 584th in the world at this point by 2021, and because of this, he was also spiraling mentally and lost confidence in his game. He lost his PGA Tour card and he had to go to the Corn Ferry Tour, the golf's equivalent of the minor leagues. This situation woke him up. He fought his way to second place in his first tournament there and regained his tour card. He then won the Valero Texas Open in 2023 and he had a great season. The mental strength he gained from this experience helped him when he battled Rory McIlroy this year to a playoff at the Players' Championship, unfortunately hitting a ball in the water in the 17th hole and eventually losing in the playoff. But the part about his story that I really love is his work on the mental side. During the broadcast, they talked about how he would routinely beat himself up for every bad shot, and he would have rounds that would spiral. One of the commentators, who's a former player, talked about how he pulled him aside after playing with him and witnessing this and told him, "JJ, you can never win with this approach, and you need to give yourself some grace." JJ's caddy eventually came over and thanked the commentator for saying this because his inner circle knew that was what was holding him back. Spaun went on to talk about in interviews about how he was always very nervous before big rounds, and that he finally found success in the Players' Championship when he entered the round thinking he had nothing to lose. He talked about employing that same approach at the US Open after shooting a bogey-free score of 66 on the par 70 course to take the lead on Thursday.
I was having lunch with Max Homa at home. We live in the same area. We belong at the same club, and he was telling a Tiger story where he's like, as long as you just are still there, just you don't have to do anything crazy, especially at a US Open. He's like, Tiger said this would happen, and the wind will switch, but you just gotta stay there. Even if you're four back, you just gotta stay there. You don't have to do anything crazy. And I kind of was thinking about that out there this afternoon, where I was four back, maybe going back out after the delay, and then I made some good pars, nothing crazy, and got a really good birdie, and then next thing you know, I'm tied for the lead, I think, and within 4 holes of the restart. So that just kind of goes back to that, you just try to just stay there. You don't have to do anything crazy, especially at a US Open. So all those things came true.
We'll get to the putt on 18 in a second, but his drive on the par 4 17th is what really won him the tournament in my opinion. That wasn't the shot of someone who had played their way off the tour just 4 years before. That was Tiger Woods-esque, going for the aggressive jugular play. That was extremely impressive. And then, of course, the putt. When you're in a clutch situation where there's a safe route and a go for the kill route, most players will be taught to play it safe. Everyone's going to give the advice to him there to hit a leg putt, as he needed only 2 putts for the win. But his playing partner Viktor Hovland had just given him the line, and he went for the kill with this 64-foot beauty. Awesome stuff. If any of you are struggling with results right now in a sport and you're focused on the physical, remember the limits are just an illusion. It's the mental strength you have to work on, and then you will succeed. Thanks for watching. Peace.